Bolivia is a landlocked country in the center of South America. My trip took me to La Paz, a city of about 3 million people when you count the surrounding neighborhoods. It's a high city. It's at 12,000 feet above sea level, and here you can see Mount Illimani in the background, always covered with snow, part of the Andes range. The city of San Francisco has nothing on La Paz when it comes to steep and narrow and twisting streets, and as you can see, traffic signs are to be ignored. The street is often crowded with multiple vendors selling everything from groceries to clothes to you name it. This is a good example of what the street looks like. Our trip into the center of town takes us to the eye hospital, and you can see that as we travel down the street, there are all kinds of different products that are being sold in these little street stalls all along the street. The National Institute of Ophthalmology was one of our first stops. You can see here's the hospital here, and the morning started out with a lecture that I gave to the residents on retinal detachment, and I think it was well received, although it was in English. My host, the director of the Eye Institute, is seen here with my other host, Dr. Murillo, on the right. And then an interview for Bolivian television. The local news channel stopped by to interview Dr. Petty, who's the director of the Eye Institute, and ultimately to interview myself. And you can see that I did my best Spanish response to the questions that were asked.
¿Cuáles son las principales enfermedades de los ojos en el mundo que usted ha podido recorrer?
El desprendimiento de la retina, los problemas con el macular en el fondo del ojo y diabetes retinopathy también es un problema en todo el mundo, pero en Bolivia es los doctores aquí tienen todos los recursos por la cirugía y otras cosas y estoy
The nice thing about Spanish-speaking people is that they pretend that they understand you even when you butcher their language with very poor grammar and lack of any real skills in terms of speaking properly, but they're invariably very polite. After the TV interview, we went to eye clinic, and here you can see the waiting area with some of the patients waiting for their examinations. Most of the native Mayans, the Indians that are indigenous to the area, are very short and squat, and the taller the hat, the more fashionable they seem to feel as these very pleasant ladies sat for photos. Then it was on to the operating room where we did a couple of macular hole surgeries. Here you can see I'm scrubbed in, and here's another picture of on a different day with Dr. Marcelo Murillo operating on a retained lens fragment. The evenings were characterized by lectures to the local ophthalmologists. Here we all posed for a photo after the lecture. And then on Friday, we took a trip into the Andes to go fishing. You can see that the landscape is very barren. Nonetheless, it was spectacularly beautiful, and I had a wonderful trip to Bolivia and can't wait to go back.